Hey there, and welcome to Temporary Locals.
I'm Jared.
And I'm Megan. This week, we're sitting down with a guest and taking you back to the Yucatan. But before we get into that, for those who may not know, Jared and I are a travel-loving couple who somehow always end up feeling like locals wherever we go. From small towns to some of the world's most iconic wonders, we share our stories, hidden gems, and occasional history or true crime that shape the places that we've actually been. So if you're into travel, storytelling, and a little bit of mystery, then you're in the right place. And we would love it if you would subscribe and join us for the ride. And as always, we appreciate other methods of free support, such as a quick share of the episode, like, comment, or a review. Today's guest is someone whose story captures exactly what this podcast is all about: curiosity, courage, and creating a life somewhere far from where you started. Today, we're hanging out with Dan Demars, or as the internet may know him, Yucatan Dan. He's an Army vet who basically just woke up one day and said, why not? And moved to Mexico. Since then, he's spent years bouncing around Merida, building huts out of coconuts, managing beach cabanas, making friends everywhere, and collecting some truly wild stories. So with that, let's get into our conversation.
I thought that was really cool, and I always wanted to kind of hear how you came about with that and like that story.
Oh,
so.
yeah, it's pretty wild. The whole thing is the whole trip. Honestly, it's been almost 4 years.
Yeah,
I go back next week, just after Thanksgiving.
Awesome. Where are you living at there? Do you have like your own place or?
Dude, I just I like reset, reload every time I go back.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go and I'll buy I know what I need to have, like the essentials, like air mattress and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of pass that along to one of my friends, and then I go and come back and do whatever I got to do here in the States.
Yeah.
And then I'll go back, find another place, and just kind of settle in. I have a neighborhood in Merida that's just kind of gotten used to my face, so everybody's pretty cool with me coming and going. And
yeah. You go to Mike's a lot?
Say that again?
You go to Mike's a lot?
You know what, dude? He decided he wanted to live all the way across Merida and Cowcal, which actually is where I'm headed back to stay now. So I'm going to be seeing a lot more of him.
Yeah, that's cool.
But we didn't see each other as often as I would have liked to. I do have I don't know what kind of stuff you want me to talk about. But I do have a pretty crazy Mike story from Cancun. We don't spend as much time as you'd think we would, but every once in a while we'll catch each other in Centro and grab a beer.
Yeah. Oh, cool, man. All right. Well, we'll get started and,
Yeah, so tell us what we should refer to you as. I hear online you're Yucatan Dan.
You call me Dan. Dan's fine. Thanks. Yeah. I'm good with Dan.
All right, yeah. So how did you kind of end up in the, going down there, and how'd you get started in the Yucatan?
Actually, it was kind of funny. I was working at a dispensary in Edmond, Oklahoma. And then one night I was just I think I was just sitting at the table paying bills after work, and Mike messaged me. He's like, hey, bro, what are you doing? And man, for some reason I was like, fuck, I have no idea. I really don't. I'm just kind of sitting here spinning the wheels, basically. And he's like, dude, you should move to Mexico. And I'm like, that's kind of, obviously that's pretty crazy sounding.
Mm-hmm.
So I passed it off. He sent me a cost of living breakdown of Oklahoma City and Merida, and it fit in perfect for my retirement from the Army.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what sparked the whole maybe. And then one thing turned into a YouTube video on the safety, or it is Mexico, so everybody kind of wonders that first, I think.
Yeah.
And then next thing you find out all these awesome little factoids about that area, that part of the world. And I wound up talking myself into it almost immediately. And then I made a joke at work, and one of my managers called me Yucatan Dan and laughed about it because he didn't think I would follow through. And I was like, 2 months later, I was sitting in Progresso with my dog, and that was that. We kind of just sold everything and got rid of it all. Went for broke on it.
Wow.
So that's how I wound up there. Spent the first 6 months bouncing around different Airbnbs, different areas, all right there in the Merida, Progresso sort of area. But there was so much, dude. It was such a new experience for me that I don't know. That first 6 months was like the vacation stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had you ever been to Mexico before that?
Just Juarez,
Yeah.
south of El Paso. That was the only time I had totally different experience. So,
And you didn't have to get like a visa or anything, or like prove that you had a return ticket, or
your passport's good for 180 for 180 days. So they'll stamp it, and as long as you're good. And honestly, I'm glad you brought that up. This last time back, I overstayed, and I was kind of worried. They charged me, I think it was 800 pesos, so $60 or so.
Right.
And then that was it. So they stamped me and let me go. Not everywhere even checks you out on your trip out of Mexico. I don't think Cancun really even checks your passport when you leave.
Right.
Merida does. So
yeah. I mean, I've never lived in Mexico, but I get the feeling from talking with people like you and stuff that have lived there, it seems pretty lax on some of their immigration laws.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm actually kind of interested next week to find out if it's going to be the same, if it's still as lax. But so far, everything seems the same.
Yeah.
So you said it's almost been 4 years?
Yeah, I got there in April of 2022 was when I first landed in in Merida.
Wow.
So, and honestly, like I wish I could tell you like I had some grand plan, but it was literally just like day by day at that point. So, and it just kind of turned into some pretty cool adventures eventually.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's, I mean, things that a lot of people kind of dream about, of just like, you know what, I'm just gonna drop everything and just live my day, live my life one day at a time.
And it's honestly, it's hard. Anybody that has done it, I give them all the credit in the world, especially if they're able to progress and do things. For me, I've just kind of plateaued out and took some time. This last year was a little crazy for us, or for me especially. Honestly, like I'm just using Mexico as like a reset for me. It's been a pretty awesome opportunity. I got a lot of good friends. There's business opportunity down there. I don't know if do you know about the Train Maya, the railroad that they've been building down there.
Yep.
So, I don't know if they could keep it from. I guess they've had one or two issues here and there, but I think that's going to change the tourism dynamic a lot.
Yes. Yeah. I was just listening to a podcast the other day, and Luke Caverns was talking about the railroad and how because of the railroad, they're going to be excavating all kinds of like land out there in the Yucatan, because there's all kinds of other like Maya sites that they've been discovered, but they haven't done anything with them. So like the government,
they're just on a list.
Yeah. So that's going to be really cool. I think there's talking about like 2030, maybe it'll be open.
Yeah. I think that it's kind of a real estate gold rush right now.
Yeah.
For that area. So it's still really affordable in a lot of places. Merida's starting to kind of get up there in price, but the surrounding areas, the Celestunes, the Sisals, there's still a lot of opportunity down there for people if there's, anybody that wants to do what I've done and just kind of, if they have like a real estate background and want to kind of try their hand at it. So, I don't know about y'all.
Yeah. I think
that's kind of the only thing that I've got as far as professionally down there is I'm like their mascot. I just kind of hang around all these different construction projects and watch anything from like Cancun style resorts that get built to like the beach hut in San Bruno that I put together with coconuts.
Yeah.
That was about it. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, watching you do that, it looked good. I thought it looked legit,
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I did. You know what? You want to know the craziest part? Here's the funny thing: is it was my friend's property. He had gone there and paid a random couple of younger kids to clear out this piece of property because it's all mangrove. It's like a real low jungle, and they do it quick too. They knock it out one day. And now we have this big empty piece of property surrounded by the mangrove. And Alan's like, dude, we need to put somebody here to advertise this piece of land. I was like, I'll do it. Let's go. Help me build a hut. So we went around all the area. There's no shortage of palms, no shortage of coconuts. We just took it on. It was about a 3-week project, I think, maybe 4-week project before I finally decided to stay one night. And it was a mistake. I was not prepared for the mosquitoes when the sun goes down.
Yeah.
Probably one of the worst experiences that I had to sleep in one of those big blue tarps in my hammock. And the next morning, like, no, we got to go. Something happened after that to where I had to abandon it.
Mm-hmm.
But I did find out that it withstood, the frame of it held up to the hurricane.
Yeah.
Was it Moral, the hit?
Yeah.
So no big deal. I don't want to brag, but that was a Cat 5.
It was well constructed.
Yeah. And so having that right there, you didn't have any issues with anybody kind of messing with that, with what you had there? No?
Never. There was an Airbnb a couple of properties down where some little old ladies were watching me build it the whole time, and they left us a bottle of rum.
Yeah.
Tucked away in the sand. We left tools there. We never had any problems. It was, it's surreal. Like that.
Right.
That aspect of the Yucatan it's unbelievable. I'm in Great Falls, Montana right now. This is where I grew up. And I can't tell you how, like, it's changed. It's just crime everywhere. I hear sirens nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I'm rushing back to Merida as soon as I can.
Which is crazy for a lot of people in the States that have never really traveled to here, because, you think of, when a lot of people think of Mexico, they think of crime, they think of the danger, and living in the States here, it's like you really have to get outside the States to understand that, like, obviously crime and danger is a real thing, but, like, it's not a lot of times what people think, and these places are safer than what people would assume, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, it really just kind of comes down to how you present yourself everywhere you go. Right. The biggest concern for all my family and friends was, you don't speak any Spanish. And I was like, I know, I'm going to have to figure that one out. And we got eventually, but that was the thing, is even with that, like, nobody ever tried to take advantage of me. Nobody ever tried to hurt or do anything bad. So, that says a lot. It says a lot.
Yeah. So you said the first 6 months that you spent there were considered like the vacation phase. I can't remember if that's the exact word you used.
Yeah, same.
How long total did you spend there? And then do you have a name for the next phase?
We gotta be a little more serious about the next one. It's just it's really spattered. The first 6 months turned into I had to spend 2 months here in the States after that. And then I was back there for about a year and a half straight before I needed to. I had to spend a year in the States after, so I did have a little break there in Kentucky. But I went back this last November, and then that was it. I just stayed all the way through until October. So. Got a couple extra months onto there. They were really cool about it. I was pretty happy. Yeah. With the whole brother. I was kind of nervous.
Because you overstayed your visa, is what you're saying?
Yeah. But no, it was 800 pesos. He didn't. Yeah. Right. I don't even know if I really had to pay it, but
it seems like money can get you a lot of leniency in Mexico.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to hear the Mike story, that's kind of what it's about. But in Merida, you don't have the corrupt cop story. It's just a myth. It's never an issue, especially for tourists. Uh-huh. So when you don't see it ever, and you just kind of forget that it's a possibility. We had taken a trip to Cancun, where there's the Isla Mujeres just on the outside of it. Mm-hmm. And we got searched by Policia outside the ferry. I had a bunch of joints rolled up in my sunglasses case in my satchel, and I got caught. And he hustled me down. He wanted to take me to jail for 3 days. I was like, let's go to jail, because I didn't have $600. Yeah. But he let me haggle. I got to haggle with him, got it down to $100, and I got to keep my weed. Yeah. And he put me to the front of the line. So really, I just paid for like a VIP ticket more than anything.
Yeah. And that was with Mike, you said?
Yeah. He watched the whole thing go down.
Yeah.
I mean, we had just flown in a friend of his from, I think, Kansas. Yeah. They were just trying to play it cool. I don't think they wanted to get searched either.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Yeah, I know we mentioned him a couple times. Anybody at home listening, when we talk about Mike, we're referring to a mutual buddy of ours that also lives in the Yucatan.
Yep. Yeah, he got me down there. I remember I sent him a screenshot of my ticket. He's like, "You actually fucking did it." like, yeah, man, I talked myself into it. And then I told my girlfriend, and she's a researcher, and she started looking it up, and she talked herself into. She's like, "Yeah, you should go. Like, I'll see you later. Like, don't wait for me." So, man, we kind of went our separate ways, and that was really it. So,
wow,
that's cool.
So you started kind of a new life down there, huh?
Yeah. Well, I just took a gamble on it just to see if I could do it, and it just kind of turned into a whole thing. So now I miss it. I can't be away from it for too long. So
yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about like just kind of up and going on a trip like that, just on a whim, not thinking that they'd ever really stay, but they end up falling in love with it and staying. And that's kind of my story with the South. I mean, when I first moved down south from up north, I didn't think I would never see my hometown again, but here I am 10 years later. I haven't been home once, so
yeah.
So
yeah, I don't make it out to mine too often either. This is just where everybody kind of settled afterwards. So, but it's nice. My hometown's in like the worst part of Montana, so like nobody really wants to go there anyway.
Yeah. So you moved down to the Yucatan. You started building a tiki hut, a shack? What do you consider that?
I mean, call it whatever you want. I called it a shack.
Yeah.
My buddy called it a cabana.
A cabana. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
I mean, we just kind of threw some palm leaves together, and we couldn't figure out what to do. That's why it looked like the shag carpet from Get 'Em to the Greek.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just didn't really know what to do. It's definitely a fire hazard. So
yeah.
Yeah, we spent I don't know. I can't tell you how. It was some hot days, man. We had to hurry up and get the tarp up before we could keep doing too much on it. But
yeah.
I mean, that eventually evolved into I was managing an actual set of cabanas in Bacalar over in Quintana Roo. That was my last stretch. That was what I was winding up doing. I don't know if you ever saw like the bright blue waters that I was on, the pontoon boats or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was in Bacalar in the lagoon. So definitely recommend it if you guys decide you need to take a trip somewhere down that area.
Yeah. And how'd you get involved in that?
It was same guy as the hut. He said, "Hey, I got another project, but this one's going to be over here in Bacalar, about 5 hours away from Merida." So we loaded up, got all my stuff, grabbed my dog. We went there. We got there the first day and dropped me off. And then I had a family emergency back here. So I had to kind of load everything right back up. 5 hours back to Merida, fly out. And then I eventually got back there about 2 weeks later, though, 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
And then, we just managed and kind of maintained these sort of rundown cabanas. And I don't know, it was fun. That was definitely fun. It was just kind of like having our own hotel. Me and this other guy.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And so as far as all the different places you've kind of been down there and have lived, do you prefer like Merida or do you like the coast?
Oh, man, I prefer Merida.
Yeah.
I do. It's you're 20 minutes from the coast.
Right.
It's not, I don't know. You got a lot more options food-wise, a lot more options entertainment-wise if you decide to do too much. So, got a lot of... If I did have to go back to the water, though, I would probably pick Bacalar. Just because it's, with it being a lagoon, you have the beautiful ocean experience without the beach, man. I hate the sand.
Yeah.
More than I should, I think, but...
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of food, it's funny because a lot of people I didn't realize even when I was there, but like Merida is like a foodie destination. It's like a food capital.
Yeah.
It's one of the top food cities in the world. A lot of people don't know that. Kind of like Lima. Like,
really?
I
mean, I believe it. I do believe it. I never said no to a meal, first of all. So I got to go to a lot of different family festivals and events and stuff, people's families. A lot of quinceañeras. But they have, I think in Yucatan you find things like the cochinita pibil. That's one of their I think signature dishes.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of stuff for Day of the Dead as well.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard to even pick a favorite. I don't know. I think I just picked tacos, bro. To me, that was probably my favorite part. Is just like, dude, tacos are everywhere.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's pretty nice.
Yeah, you mentioned Day of the Dead. I was gonna ask if you were able to experience any like holidays or like celebrations or anything like that, and what that was like.
Every year I have had to be in the States for it. I have not gotten to go to one yet, and I keep getting told how awesome it is and how much I'm missing out. I did catch a carnival this last year though. That was my first time doing that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but no Day of the Dead yet.
Yeah. Any other like holidays or celebrations that you got to see or?
I've spent a few Christmases, New Year's there. They do the whole Fuego de Viejo. I don't really know exactly how they say it, but they make a little marionettes of people and they fill it with fireworks and they just light them up and then they sit there for like an hour and burn and explode and everybody kind of hangs out and cheers it on. Man, around Christmas time, there's everything's decorated the same way here. They throw up all the palm trees, have stuff around it. Yeah. They do all the traffic circles differently. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, you guys are making me homesick now. I got a lot. I was in the process of packing earlier before we got started here, so I have to sort of separate what I don't need. I'm really trying to get down to a backpack if I can. So not quite there.
So other than that one time in Cancun, have you ever had any other sort of run-ins with the Policia?
There was another time in Cancun with some other friends. We were actually in Centro. Centro for Cancun is a lot different than, I don't think a lot of tourists get to see that part of it. Mm-hmm. So we were doing a renovation project on somebody's apartment. And this has been like, there's trees growing out of it on the inside. It's a wild project to take on. So, the police and fire department got called us because we were burning the trees just on the roof of the apartment in the middle of Centro. Mm-hmm. So, they came, lit us up a little bit, but I don't think anything happened from it. Me personally, I've really just had the one time with, once it happened, it was like, it kind of made it a reality for me that I just never let it happen again, at that point.
Right. So. Yeah, it seems like Cancun can kind of be trouble for people. I mean, it's obviously a big tourist area, but as soon as you get off the resorts and stuff, I mean, you hear the stories, people act a fool down there and they get in trouble. So
yeah. Yep, I didn't like it at all. I hated Cancun. It's like the least favorite part of Mexico that I've found so far has been Cancun.
And what's crazy is people go to Mexico and they go only to Cancun.
Right.
To
then
a resort.
They kind of get to, I went. That's it. Got the t-shirts.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very blessed to have found Merida first. I'm super excited to see other parts of Mexico. I want to go to Oaxaca this next trip, I think, among other places. But I feel like finding Merida first really gave me like the best sort of idea of the people and, the whole process. And I don't know, I guess, it really just was appealing. You go to Quintana Roo and people are just different.
Right.
So if I would have gone there first, maybe I wouldn't enjoy Mexico as much. I wouldn't have as high of a holding for it,
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that side of the peninsula because I really like a lot of the like ancient Mayan sites and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Have you visited any of those kind of places?
A lot of cenotes, a lot of different, there's like smaller ruins kind of in and about different towns and things. Churches and the chapels are one of my favorite parts about every small village you go through has this giant immaculate steeple in it. So in Merida, all of these old churches are connected by underground tunnels, so you can go and take tours when you're down there. I think some parts of the year they close it off, maybe for the heat or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But that's probably been my favorite. When Chichen Itza, I went 2 different times and wasn't able to get in. One was closed. We went for the light show at night. Mm-hmm. and they had decided to close it that evening. I guess there was low attendance or something. So
wow.
And then for some reason, I went there, but didn't get to go to the ruins. So, but I've been like around them.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The jungle is so thick, even from the road, like you can't see the pyramids anywhere. It's wild.
Yep. Yeah, they cleared out that little area, a little square, which the complex sits inside. But as soon as you get outside that, it's just jungle, you know.
Yeah, I'm for sure going to check it out as one of these next trips. I'm a little bit more serious about my time this next one.
Yeah.
So.
And the Tulum ruins.
Off track.
Yeah, the Tulum ruins is another one where I know a lot of people don't like the idea of Tulum itself, but a lot like Cancun, it's become very like, you know, commercialized and stuff. But the Tulum ruins themselves that sit right on the coast are some of the coolest. It's one of the coolest sites I've ever been to.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I didn't get over to Tulum yet, but I've heard so many awesome things about it. I love how the government in Mexico does so much to secure spots like that, because I mean, that's millions of people a year go through there, and just kind of, it's cool how well they preserve those places.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of old naval bases and things that are around some parts of Mexico as well, that are pretty cool to check out.
Yeah. And going back to the train system, I think that's going to give people a lot more easy access to a lot of those sites. A lot of people have some trepidation about going to Mexico because they've heard about, even though it's the Yucatan, there's still some danger involved. But the train system is going to give you the chance where you can just be on a train the whole time and go visit these different sites. You don't have to worry about like traversing the Mexican jungle or anything.
Right. Stopping at checkpoints and things like that.
Right. It's going to be a lot safer for people, you know, quote unquote.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, honestly, in some of those spots, I think they're finally like, things were getting a little, all right. So probably around the like July, August timeframe was, I guess there was a lot of stuff happening politically between Mexico and the States. There's a lot of things going on as far as troop movement from the peninsula up to the rest of Mexico. So for a while, man, you were just seeing convoys of Marines and soldiers going through every day, all day. It was pretty wild thing to see, but kind of made me feel like a kid in Iraq, I guess.
Yeah.
It must have been sort of the similar feeling. I'm on my scooter next to a bunch of dudes with rifles. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you do see that. You do see that in Mexico. And I think a while back they were trying to kind of like they were trying to go after some of the cartel activity that was actually going on in the peninsula, because I remember hearing a story, and this was actually in Cancun, where some people were shot on the beach between two rival cartels. It was a gang thing, but people were caught in the crossfire of it. And so I think the Mexican government at that point kind of stepped in and was like, this can't happen here of all places. You know, like the Yucatan is usually regarded as being a pretty safe area of Mexico. And so I think that they were trying to really crack down on that stuff, at least there.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you never really know like how bad a place is. There's places in Merida that I've always been told to avoid, and you know, I'm not going to go ahead and test that stuff. So I'm sure there's bad parts of town. But yeah, it's different. It's different when you're in Cancun. The police there, they like to, and they're just as bad. They're just as bad as the guys on the dirt bikes. So
yeah.
Yeah, geez. You're like, I don't know. There's some stuff that I don't know if I should say or not, or how much you want to hear about that. But
you can say it. Say whatever you want.
Oh,
you're safe here.
Well, we'll go back to the burning the foliage on top of the apartment story. We had to find a solution as to where are we going to dispose of all these branches and all these trees and all this garbage. So my friend finds somebody with a ranch just outside of town, sort of in between the airport of Cancun and like the main road. And it's out there. It's in the cut. So once you go to these people's place, you're like in the jungle. So we find our area, we dump everything off. Nothing's around us. So we spark up a J and are just kind of enjoying our morning. And a lady comes from the house that we're at. She comes running out. She's like, no. Put it out. And we're like, oh, thought we offended her or like made her mad. And she's like, no, like this part of the jungle is where they're dropping people here a lot. They have to, I guess, move around when they do it.
Mm-hmm.
So this particular time frame is when they were finding a lot of these like people out there. So, and because of that, there was people on, bikes and stuff coming down, checking the road and stuff. So if they would have, I guess, smelled the joint, they probably wouldn't have been, or maybe curious, it would have got their attention. So
yeah.
So I don't know. That was kind of a reality check that morning as well. So definitely, yeah. You can't really, you can't act the way that you act in Merida, when you're in a place like Cancun.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah, and I would imagine once you get outside kind of the bigger areas and out of the resorts and stuff, and you're kind of in more of an rural area, the rules are a little different,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But, the same application applies, I'd say, as far as, just how you act, how you present yourself. So.
Mm-hmm.
She was looking out for you.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. So.
Yeah.
But it kind of changed the dynamic. It changed the dynamic of the group project for the rest of the time we were there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you spent a lot of time in the jungle. Did you have any like wildlife encounters?
So much. There is, oh God, I don't know where to start. So right there in the Chubranay area is where the flamingos sort of kind of migrate and jump around. So there's those, obviously. But then there's just the normal birds, seeing like the parakeets and things kind of in the wild. I'm a bird watcher, but it can get kind of boring. Yeah. God, and it came in quick. Well, you were talking about like the iguanas when you were running around that part of the kind of, man, I've seen, especially in Bacalar, I've seen iguanas that were almost a meter and a half long. They were giant. Every color that you could have on an iguana. Yeah, they look like dinosaurs. Saw some crocodiles when we were in the lagoon. Some horseshoe crabs. Those were kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, the best part about that area is like the Gulf doesn't have any like sharks, or it doesn't have any jellyfish. So you can go out in Progreso and all these different areas and just enjoy the water without having to sort of worry about it or stress it. So.
Right.
Yeah, that's nice peace of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. If you like to get out there, for sure. My buddy's a kite surfer, so I don't know if are you into like aquatic stuff like that? It's wild to me.
Just watch a video of people kite surfing because we took a camping trip recently and we got these kites that were like stunt kites and we were having the hardest time. So we were like, who can actually fly these? So we look up videos of stunt kites and then we start seeing like kite surfing videos.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
It's so complicated. And then my friend that's introduced me to it, he's a world class, he would represent, back in 2013, he would represent Mexico in the kite surfing competitions in like Greece and different parts of the world. He's like a professional kite surfer, right? And he's trying to tell me how easy it is. So we're in Progreso trying to get me privy to the basics of this stuff. And it's not clicking. So he decides, all right, it comes with a harness. And on the back of it is like a sturdy handle. So he's like, just hold on to the handle and we'll go out in the water. And you could just kind of, we were trying to get the rhythm. Mm-hmm. And it was a pretty windy day in Progreso. It's a port town. So there was a cruise ship there. So the port was full. The whole playa was full. And we're in the water, 2 guys tandem on a kite surf, right? And one's just dangling behind him. He's got the board and everything. And we get out far, and he's got goggles. I have nothing. I'm literally just holding my breath and keeping my eyes closed. And we get 150 yards out into the water and start really hitting the big jumps. And he rips me out of the tide, and my trunks go down my ankles. And I've been out. I built the cabana this whole time. I'm like dark. All except for the fucking trunk area. That's like Oreo cookie white. So I'm flashing through the whole crowd of Progreso's tourism that day, slamming in out of the water. I'm almost 200 yards out. I can't let go now.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pull my trunks up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's the last time I've been to Progreso, by the way. Gotta let them forget about it. No.
I'd be curious to go, deep through like Instagram or any of the reels and see if there's like a really grainy video.
Somebody was recording that day.
I would take credit. I would have to. If that's all I've got, I would take credit.
Yeah. Oh, man.
What a fun story, though.
Yeah.
How does kite surfing, so it's different than like parasailing. You're not behind a boat. You're just literally out there, just the wind.
You have a board and the harness, and then everything sort of hooks up to this contraption. It's just a stick with different colored cords and this massive kite. So, but you have to air it up, either pump it up for an hour before you even do it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. So.
Yeah.
No, I never picked it. I was struggling with Spanish. Kite surfing could wait.
Right. How's your Spanish now? Since you've been in the Yucatan, have you learned more?
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm really embarrassed at how little I do know. But I have learned. Have you ever heard of standard tolerance learning?
Mm-mm.
When it's like the window of blood alcohol content, where if you perform an activity for a certain amount of time, you learn that activity while you're inebriated. And it's people call it like drunken recall. Like, I can't remember where the restaurant was at, but then they get drunk and they're like, it's right over there.
Okay,
yeah. So we would do Kawama time all the time. I'd practice Spanish every day. Like, I was speaking Spanish every day, but the drunker you got, the better the Spanish got.
Right.
And then I realized, like, if I really can't sit and have too good of a conversation with somebody like this, but you get a couple of beers going, it starts to show itself. So
right. So you just got to.
But my problem with Duolingo is Spanish from Spain.
Right.
I'm in the Yucatan, which is Spanish from both Mexico and Maya.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different dialects for different things.
Right.
So
yeah.
It was practicing at a beginner's level and then trying to apply at an expert level is sort of a disconnect for me for a long time. But I did learn. I learned a lot though.
Yeah.
How's your Spanish? How many different languages do you know?
Well, the thing that we've learned is that like the best way to learn a language is just from being in a place, because you could, like, we practiced Spanish for months before we went to Peru, and within a week of being in Peru, we learned more Spanish, I think, than all that practice that we had beforehand. I mean, just interacting with actual Spanish speaking people is the best experience you're going to get. And I remember us talking about it and being like, if we spent just like a month here, we'd be like fluent. Because we got pretty good.
We did get pretty good.
Yeah.
And what we were doing when we were in Peru too was like going into the city every day, walking around, getting taxis. So like we were putting ourselves in situations where we were, having to speak with people.
Right. Man, it's like a superpower to be able to do that. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Well, and I wouldn't say we're like.
Well, and once we came home, once you like leave, it's something that you need to like repetitively do, because once we left, it's like you lose it all. It's not like riding a bike.
Use it or lose it.
Right.
I took 3 years in high school, I guess 3 semesters, and I was really good at learning languages, like reading and writing Spanish. I was awesome, but we didn't do a whole lot of like speaking in our class. Like every now and then, but like conjugating verbs and like we were doing past and future tense. Like I was able to conjugate those. I can't recall them anymore, so I can really only talk in the present tense. So I was like, and I was surprised at how much I could recall from high school. And I was like, because that's more than 10 years ago. And I'm like, actually, that's like that's like 15 years ago. Anyways.
Just keep it track, right?
So, but I was really surprised at how much I was able to recall and how much of it was actually applicable.
Yeah.
Right. And once you start seeing words, and it comes back, right? It has to. That was what really sparked it for me was reading song lyrics in Spanish as that was a big help. But I learned that I have to like look and see the word that I'm hearing before I'm able to like comprehend anything. So
I'm the same way. And that's why I've seen people do like, they'll watch things in English, but have like the Spanish subtitles
yeah.
on to kind of help. I haven't done that, but I'm the same way where like I have to read something. Like we have subtitles on, not because like we have an issue hearing, but it just helps me follow along better to read while I'm listening.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And it made me understand that it's like you're making it more complicated than it really is. Like they say so much more with such fewer words. Really, it's like as far as like the subtitles go and things. I think they put a pretty basic version of Spanish either way, but they really captions it pretty good. That's a good way. And Nico Bori, he's a musician that sings a bunch of like Americana classics, but he sings them in Spanish. He's a good artist to listen to also.
Yeah. I was thinking about that when you were talking about when you have like a little bit of alcohol, you can start, speaking better Spanish. And I was
playing
just
pool,
wondering.
dancing, karaoke, all of it, right?
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if it's because a lot of people I think have the it's like the hesitancy, or you're not as confident in like speaking because you don't want to be, wrong or whatever. And I wonder if that like level kind of comes down as you have, a little bit of drink in you.
Courage.
Yeah.
Liquid courage.
Less fear of conflict, I think. You're ready to go. You get a little liquid courage going.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think the best way to learn any language is to just be around people that speak it. I mean, even as kids, when you learn, English as a kid, you learn it because your family and everybody around you is speaking it all the time. That's why,
I felt like the more that I practiced Spanish, the less how little English do I actually understand as I'm trying to like explain. So it's a wake up call for sure. So, but I think everybody speaks kindness and everybody speaks smiles, as long as I just kind of got looped in with some pretty cool dudes, and we got it's a pretty simple routine. Most days we just kind of hang out and I guess we smoke weed and drink beer. Really, most days.
And so, did you meet these guys when you got down there, or are they guys that you were in contact with beforehand?
Yeah, no, I met them a couple years after I got there.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of crossed paths, and all of a sudden, next thing we were just hanging out.
Yeah.
So every time you go back, every time you go back, do you go kind of to the same place and hang out with the same people, or do you kind of move around?
This last couple of trips, yeah, I was sticking pretty close to the same little neighborhood there. I'll be going to Caucal where Mike is in December when I go back. So it's other side of town. A lot nicer neighborhood though.
Right. And so what are some of your favorite areas of Merida?
Jeez, man.
Like if I was going to go tomorrow, where would you recommend I go?
I would probably tell you start at Paseo Montejo. It's just sort of a historical district. It's got all the old colonial buildings from, God, I don't even remember. I'm terrible with history and years and things, so I apologize for that.
Spanish style, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Absolutely. Merida has these strict guidelines to where anybody that owns property with these buildings needs to renovate or not renovate, but continue the same style as the historic significance. So it's a really nice area to go down to. I would recommend that. First, Centro in general in Merida is huge. So you have different parks you can go hang out in, different tours, different areas you've got right within walking distance. Everything is a short walk. They just finished this massive project called La Planche Park. It's this huge, got a giant amphitheater, food court with I can't name something that's not in this food court. It's massive. Cool. It's a cool spot. They're investing so much right now in Merida that I recommend it to a lot of people. I don't know, about the sidewalks in Mexico, how bad they can get, how crazy they can get. Not in Merida, dude. They're one street by one street. They're fixing all the sidewalks and the drainage, and so they're definitely investing in their tourism there. So I do recommend if you guys decide to go down. Pretty good tour guide, I guess, for a couple places.
Yeah.
Nightlife there is great. Now they don't let it get out of hand, so it's not like Cancun. Nobody's staying out until 3 a.m. or anything. Pretty early nightlife, I'd say. But yeah, nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah.
Tourists from everywhere. That's another awesome part about it, is you never know who you're going to meet. So
yeah. So you said when you're going back, you're going to Oaxaca is one of the places that you want to go to, right? Have you ever been there before?
I haven't, actually. I haven't.
What are you looking forward to there?
I think they got a different jungle thing out there. Probably the ayahuasca adventure we're looking at. I don't really know exactly how all that stuff's going to work out. Honestly, it's just sort of that first step away from the Yucatan in a different direction. So I don't know if you guys know, but Tabasco, just north of Oaxaca, it's kind of a pretty rough state. So you got to kind of pick and choose what parts of that bottom part of Mexico you want to hang out in, really. So, but Oaxaca's, I think, probably the best choice.
Right.
Yeah, I saw there's this girl that I follow on like social media and YouTube and stuff, and she did a Day of the Dead festival there, and it looks really cool. I know you haven't.
Yeah. I need to be around for one. This next year if I can.
We wanted to go this year, and earlier this year I was like, we are gonna do a Day of the Dead festival, either Mexico City or Oaxaca. It actually was when we were looking into it, was gonna be way more expensive to go to Oaxaca, but then I can't remember when exactly it was, but it was like the week after I said that, there were like digital nomad tourism protests in Mexico City, and I was like, okay, never mind, we're not gonna go.
I don't see a trip to Mexico City in my future. It seems that's the sentiment there.
Yeah,
not the vibe in Merida, not yet at least. So
yeah. Well, and it's interesting because a lot of people from the States view Mexico as like it's all kind of the same thing, but it's like the United States. You know, if you're on the East Coast, it's so much different from the West Coast, and that's kind of how Mexico is too. I mean, it's very different depending on where in Mexico you are. It's a large country, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you? And I could be totally off. Have you purchased property in Mexico? Is that
no? I did. I've got a small investment with a hostel, but I think the hostel actually just sold. So, but it was in Centro. It was an awesome little spot, actually. One of my favorite little stays was in this nice hostel called the Casa. So, but no, I think it just got sold not too long ago. I haven't been too in touch with it. It wasn't a huge project for me though.
Yeah.
But who knows? I think I'll keep working with these engineers and developers, the property developers, and see if we can get something going in the future. So
yeah. I was just intrigued because you mentioned kind of basically earlier when we were talking about my cost of living and what the like metrics of that are, because you said that you primarily kind of bounced around from like Airbnbs.
At first I did. Airbnb, it got expensive fast. So on my next time back there was when I decided I just need to find an apartment and go that route. So
and what are the apartments? What's the price of the apartments look like?
It really depends on the area. You're probably looking at anywhere from $250 to $10,000. They have just entire mansions in some parts of the city that are for Airbnb too. So you can spend a lot of money on some of it, but I usually try to stay as cheap as I can get it. So I never pay more than $200 or $300 for my rent.
And that's for like a 1-bedroom apartment, or?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a little studio, nothing too crazy.
Right.
Hot water. Most places come with beds already, TVs and stuff, so I never have to buy too much.
Right.
Keep it kind of simple.
Yeah, I mean, that's unheard of in the States. You can't find an apartment for $200-300.
No. So. That's your power bill in most places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to back up for a second, you said something earlier that kind of piqued my interest. Did you say you're planning on doing an ayahuasca ceremony in Mexico?
Yes.
Okay, and how'd that come about?
Actually, just my buddy from Oaxaca he invited me to come along to it. So we were just trying to find a good time this next spring to do it.
Wow.
I don't know. It's new territory for me, so I'm not really too sure where my expectations are with it, but
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous. I'm afraid I'm gonna get sick or something. So.
Oh, you're gonna get sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I've seen a lot of that. I can take some. Like I understand some of it. I'm afraid it's gonna be like way too much, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm worried about it.
Yeah, I feel like 10 years ago, in order to do ayahuasca, you had to go like deep into the Amazon or something kind of like that. But now it's gotten so kind of popularized. I mean, they do them even here in the States in certain areas. You can do it, you know.
Mm-hmm. I think Arizona and Nevada have places that are open to it, right?
Yeah.
Peyote and things like that.
Yeah.
You see the whole shift on social media towards like this acceptance of the whole psychedelic culture. It's kind of cool. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good direction, a good path forward for a lot of stuff.
Well, after you do that, you're going to have to come back on and tell us about your experiences, because that's something that would really that's something that really interests me.
So. Yeah.
Okay, that's the deal.
Yeah.
And so I have all the beads in my hair.
Yeah.
100 bracelets on. Listen, guys.
Yeah. You're all spiritual now and enlightened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. I have no. Yeah. This is a really cool experience for me. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what we're here for, just to help you get excited to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
not that you were having a hard time with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I kind of came, I was like, this isn't home anymore. Like I don't want to be here. That's sad too, because this was kind of like my last little like anchor to the States that I had.
Yeah.
So, but it's just not the same.
Well, once you get down there and you kind of get settled, maybe we'll make a trip down.
I would love to have you. How do you guys like to travel how do you like to spend your time when you stay places? Do you like Airbnbs, or do you like to stay closer to the water, or?
It all really just depends on the place. I mean,
yeah,
we've stayed in Airbnbs. We're not like opposed to it or anything, but
yeah. No, I mean, I like an Airbnb because it's different than like a hotel, whereas you kind of it feels like you're staying at like a friend's house or something like that, you know. I do. Do you like
hotels? I have a good connection to one of the best hotels in Merida. So if you want to just go ahead and go hotel route, I got you covered there too. So
yeah.
Oh, sweet.
And that would definitely be somewhere that I would want to spend more time, would be Merida, because I spent most of my time over on the coast, which I also love, and I would love to go back. But yeah, I'd like to explore Merida more.
Yeah. I invite anybody I can to just give it a chance if they're planning on a vacation or something for the future. Like, hey, listen, if you can't think of anywhere, come on down, check it out.
Yeah.
And a few people have. I've had a few friends come down and hang out, and just nothing but good things to say about it. So
you're like a tour guide.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I got good friends that sort of keep things interesting. You know, you can spend an entire week just going to different cenotes right there. So
right, yeah, awesome.
We like, kind of walking around, exploring. Every place is different, but and kind of getting out there, and we're not like a vacation and kind of relax, sit on the beach. We like to look like adventure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, get it all. Yeah, I'm the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you time it for the right time of year, I think November I would say is probably perfect. Right, anywhere just before Christmas, there's always something going on. Always events, concerts, light shows. They do light shows downtown in Centro all the time.
Yeah.
Parades.
Mm-hmm.
It's been awesome. There's never a dull night. I never go out and just come home disappointed. So yeah,
Spanish countries definitely know how to get down, because there's always something going on. There's always parades, or it's like it's just so festive in a lot of these places.
Mm-hmm. More passionate.
Yeah,
I love everything about it. The family values, the communities. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. I have my own little spot, my own little place in Mexico that everybody knows me, and I can I actually had a really fun run out in my neighborhood. There's a random cat showed up to my apartments, and I started taking care of it. He started hanging out with me. No big deal. Let's fast forward 3 years later, and I was in Bacalar, 5 hours away from Merida. Nothing to do with this place anymore. And I'm in a restaurant called San Felipe, and the owners come to our table, start talking to them. They're friends of mine, or my partner from the Cabanas. They're his friends from Merida. Mm-hmm. And we get to know each other better. And I tell them that I stay in Merida mostly. And they're like, oh, what part? I say in the north. They said, oh, we do too. What part? I said, Colonia Maya. They say, we do too. And they looked at each other, they're brothers. And they said, what part of Colonia Maya do you stay in? I said, I try to give them the street. I never know my address. And they're like, was it next to a tool store? I said, it was next to a tool store. And they looked at each other again and they huddle up and they start talking. And a phone comes out and pictures are going there swiping. And they show me this cat. They said, you know this cat? I do know your cat. It's Mao. He's my buddy. He lives with me at my apartment. He's like, no, it's our cat. His name is Wilson. And you stole him from us. I was like, I didn't steal your cat, but they had left and started this business in Bacalar years before I got, or just before I got there, maybe a year before I left. And their mom said that their cat had found some gringo down the street and was living with him. So, and I guess that's how we got it. Now we're really good friends now. So over their cat.
And so you were that gringo.
I was that gringo.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. And like, what are the chances?
Yeah.
Right.
We didn't even meet in Merida.
Right.
I know. We never saw each other before that, ever. So one house down the entire time.
Man, that's a cool story.
That is a really cool story. It's one of those that like makes you.
I like serendipitous stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Small world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is super cool.
God dang. Do you guys have any? I don't know. Have you guys been planning anything for your near future as far as travel goes?
Yeah,
or what's the next big project for you?
We have a pretty big trip coming up in May. We're gonna go to Moab, Utah. Actually, wearing a Moab shirt.
Nice.
It's kind of a thing that we do. Like my family, it's gonna be his first time going out there.
Oh, sweet.
And then I think next November we want to do Cambodia.
I think Utah doesn't get enough credit at all. I went out there for a ski trip out of Park City. This place is real.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's beautiful out there. I still haven't got to see Moab though. I would like to.
And not as solidified, but also planning a trip to go ski in Utah near Salt Lake.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Park City?
I'm not sure exactly. I don't know.
Okay.
I was chatting with my dad about it, so I'm not sure which one we're going to go to.
All right. If you go to Park City, there's a Banksy on the main street. You can get pictures with it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to double check with him because I don't remember exactly where we're going, but yeah, in February he wants to.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where you're from, Megan? Are you from Utah?
No, I'm from Michigan, but.
Oh, okay. And you're from Jared? You're from Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike and I are from the same hometown.
Nice. Oh, okay. Well, that says a lot, man. We go way back.
Yeah.
Me and that dude, we go way, way back. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got arrested. We got arrested in Austria together.
Well,
what?
Go ahead and tell that story.
We got. I don't remember. Well, listen. First of all, the details to how it began were hazy, but this is before cell phones had really good cameras. But we started talking to a couple girls one night in Edelweiss, and outside, Garmisch.
Mm-mm.
It's there's an MWR resort called Edelweiss in this little town in Garmisch. I think it's in Austria, either Austria or German, but really close in the Swiss Alps there. God, this is a long time since I've told this story. Hold on a second. Oh, okay, so somehow we started trying to talk to these two girls on a park bench. No harm, no foul, but some dudes didn't like it, so they started yelling at us. And he and I were just kind of getting our night started, so we sort of kind of got up, started moseying to the bar that we were trying to go to, because it's a tourist town. There's two bars that tourists go to, so it's one or the other. So we picked this particular one, and these dudes, they surrounded us and kind of got in our face, and I was still trying to walk away, but Mike wasn't. So next thing I know, dudes are getting thrown around, and I'm looking, we got in a giant bar brawl with these dudes outside of the bar. And we fucking roughed them up a bit. The crowd didn't like it that was kind of gathering around, so they started chasing us down the street. Ducked into an alley, and we had to cut through, like, horizontally through the middle of town, through people's yards, through over fences, through streams. It was dumb. It was a dumb night.
Mm-hmm.
And we wound up getting arrested at the gate of the hotel. They'd already put an APB out for us. We were trying to track us down, so it didn't even matter. All this for nothing.
Wow.
Spent the night in jail, and then that was it. Nothing really happened of it. They cut us loose. Actually, something did happen. We got released because there had been a series of tourists being jumped when they were out partying by locals, and they were getting fucked up and they were getting robbed. And the justice of the peace was like, nah, not tonight. Those guys just got lucky and they sent us away. We had to pay the fines, but that was really it. We had nothing to happen, no legal action. We just got let go. And
wow.
Our unit wasn't happy that they recalled everybody on a Saturday night at 10 p.m. for Mike and Dan to be picked up at the jail cell. But yeah, it was a wild weekend. I should have sent you those pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you didn't have any sort of, you didn't get in trouble by the government or anything, but like with the Army, you didn't get in any trouble with the
The following Tuesday was the 4-day weekend. We had just come home from Iraq, so we were still in civilian clothes for all of our formations. And our commander, he wasn't there. Only our first sergeant was with us on the trip. Commander calls us to the front of the formation, and we're like, all right, this is it. Now we get in trouble, because we've been wondering the same thing the whole weekend. Like, why haven't we gotten fucked up yet? Like, nobody's done anything to us. And we kind of figured out, no, they're waiting for Tuesday, paperwork. They're going to do it right this time, Mikey. We're getting it this time, buddy. And our commander called us out, patted us on the back, and he told everybody that we were the example of battle buddies looking out for each other when you're out having fun in the weekends, and that he was proud of us, and we didn't get in any trouble at all.
Wow.
And the unit, the company that was standing in front of, like, you could see it on their faces, like how betrayed they felt, because they wanted it. We fucked that whole weekend up, dude.
Yeah.
They wanted it bad.
Wow.
But no, it was, yeah.
That's awesome.
That was it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. They probably were like, you know what, the fear that they're holding on right now because they don't know what's going to happen is probably punishment enough. That's what my parents did.
Yeah.
They just knew, like, they knew that the days leading up to the trip, like, if somebody's going to cause a problem, it's going to be one of these two. So they were already kind of keeping an eye on us. So when it already happened, they were like, oh, okay, here we go. You know, like, they were ready for it. So, but then to actually not get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Makes the story even better.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems like all your run-ins with the police abroad, you've gotten pretty lucky in all of them. So
far.
Yeah, so far.
I don't know. Luck, divine intervention. Not even abroad. Like, it's a lot of different. Yeah. You know what the trick is? You can't self-snitch. That's really all it is. You can't self-snitch. Yeah. A lot of people just get themselves in trouble because they don't know how to shut up.
Yeah. We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming on. We've really enjoyed chatting with you. I'm
really glad to have been here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'd love to have you back. Where can people find you if they want to follow along with your adventures?
Well, I've got a Instagram called Yucatan, pretty much devoted just to being in Mexico. My regular Instagram is WokeTaco34. And anybody can reach out to me there.
Cool.
Awesome.
All
right. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
All right. Take care, y'all. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. That was an interesting journey, hearing about Dan's experience in the Yucatan. Once again, you can find him on Instagram at Yuka_Dan. And with that, that's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for listening. We are Temporary Locals on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Instagram. You can find Jared on Instagram and YouTube at Rover Stover, and you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook at Mego Goes Global. And with that, once again, if you guys would like the episode, share it, comment, leave a review. We'd truly, truly appreciate it. Otherwise, see you guys next time. With that,
I'm Jared.
And I'm Megan. Thanks for exploring with us.
And remember, be a local anywhere you go.
Bye.